Let's get started. All right. Sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in and close your eyes. Feel the air filling those lungs and exhale. Breathe in again, filling that body, and then exhale. For the next 30 minutes or so, see if you can make an effort to really be present right now with yourself. There's lots going on, but the next 30 minutes, you can take the world and bring it down into just you and your body. So let's take a moment to deepen our breathing. Sit nice and tall. If you'd like to set some intention for the next 30 minutes, now's a great time to do so. You can revisit it throughout. It could be something related to fitness. It could be something related to life, your life, life. But you need to take a moment to think of an intention. Bring the arms up over your head, nice and tall. Shoulders down. Bring your hands together to your forehead, to your heart. Take one more breath. And bring those hands down gently to your sides with the fingertips touching the sides. Take a nice inhale. And bring your arm up, nice and tall above your head. Walk the fingers out to the side and stretch. Stay here for 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, gently walk the hands back in and return. Lift the other arm up. Take a nice inhale here. And send the body over and walk those fingers out to the side. Stay here for 3 breaths. And bring it back. Take those arms up to above your head. And we're going to cactus them out. So we're going to think about sending our elbows towards the back as we bring our hands. Let's do that one more time. And cactus the arms. Gently move yourself into an all-fours position, finding that neutral point in your spine, making sure you're out of your shoulders and that your hips are in line with your knees and that your elbows and wrists are in line with your shoulders. Then you're going to take a nice deep inhale and arch that back, head up to the sky. You'll feel some nice stretching along the abdominal muscles. Exhale as you pull back into a rounded position. Let's do this for 4 breaths at your own pace. Big breath through the nose and then big breath out. When you're ready, come back to a neutral spine. And take one leg out behind you. And the other opposing arm out in front of you. We're going to bring our elbow and our knee together underneath us. And then extend out nice and long again. Take an inhale, exhale as you bring that leg in. Inhale as you return it. On our next one, we're just gonna hold nice and long. Take 2 breaths. And then lower it down. Take a breath here. And one more. Check in, are you distributing the weight on all of your fingers, including the fingertips, or are you just hanging back here? Try and distribute that weight over all of those fingers. Take the left leg, or it might be your left leg, up. Wherever you use your different leg, take that one. Take the other arm out. Bring that knee and elbow to the center. Inhale as you come back. Exhale as you bring in. Inhale as you come back. And let's do that a few times. Let's do 2 more. Then our last one, we will hold out and extend. Let's take 2 breaths. And lower down. Take your wrist, flip it over, and gently stretch your wrist in the other direction, keeping the majority of your weight on your other hand so you don't overstrain it. We spend a lot of time with our wrist flexed in one position and not a lot of time giving it some love in the opposite way. Just keep breathing as you do this. Bring that wrist back up. Take the other wrist, flip it over for a little bit of a baby stretch. And bring that back. Tuck the toes when you're ready. And gently send yourself back and up into a downward facing dog. Let's take 4 breaths while we're here. Assess what your body needs. Maybe it needs to pedal out. Maybe it needs to shift a little bit. Maybe you just want to feel stable here. But pick if there's anything that you need to do. You should definitely think about pressing your heels down, taking the shoulders away from the ear, lifting that seat up to the sky and pulling out of those legs, and pressing that chest down toward the legs. So it's a very active place to be. Let's take a few more breaths here. We're going to gently bring ourselves into a plank. Lower down, either all the way through chaturanga, or if you need to put your knees down, feel free to put the knees down. And come into an up dog. And then send yourself back into that downward facing dog one more time. This time we're going to lift our right leg up into 3-legged dog. And we're going to bring it in between our hands for a low lunge. Take a few breaths here. Think about the crease where your bent leg is meeting your hip, moving back so that your hips are even. And think about energy radiating through that back leg. So even though it's not moving, we're still being active in every fiber of our bodies. And breathe here. As always, if you need extra support, you can use yoga blocks or books or anything that you have to support yourself. We're all where we are. We all are just in our bodies. Lower the back knee. Bring the toe down, sit on up. We're going to push forward to flex at our hip, to stretch our hip flexors. You can either stay here with hands on your thigh, or if you'd like to add your arms up and add a bit of upward momentum and motion or feeling, feel free to add that. So you can be here or here at both. And take a few breaths, feeling that stretch. Lower on down. Tuck the toes one more time. Lift that leg back up. Take the same arm as leg up to the ceiling and twist. Anyone? Never mind. Take that arm down. We're going to send the leg back into our plank. We're going to hold strong here, breathing for 5 breaths. Again, you can always put your knees down if you need. Last 2 breaths, whenever you're ready. And then when you feel ready, gently come down through chaturanga into our upward dog. And then send yourself back. We'll stay here for 4 breaths. So really breathe in nice and deeply. Check in with your body. How are you feeling? Check in with your mind. Are you still here, or are you here in body only? Remember that this 30 minutes is really you and your mat. And any intentions you've set. Anything else, that can all wait. Take 1 more breath here. And then lift the other leg up, whichever one you didn't use. For me, it's my left. Send it in towards your nose. Drop it between the hands. And we're back on the other side for the same set of stretches. So first, we're just going to engage here. Keeping our knee over our ankle, never past. So always here, never coming forward. And thinking about the hip of that leg that's creased, moving forward so that our hips are square as we do this stretch. Just breathe, hold, and feel the stretch in your body, what that might feel like. Maybe it's pleasant, maybe it's a little unpleasant, depends how you perceive it, which is something fascinating to think about. A lot of things are in our perception and in our control. And we can take the same event and see it different ways. So as we go through different poses, it's interesting to think about that as well. How does the sensation feel, good or bad, and how are we a partner in how we interpret things? And that's an interesting thing to think about in life too. So as I'm using, take your foot down onto the toes and then bring yourself up. And then again, you can have your hands here, or you can bring them up to the ceiling as you stretch forward and keep your hip flexors a lovely stretch. Keep breathing. You're still, but you're radiating energy through your arms, through your fingertips, through the top of your head. Exactly. Lower your hands when you're ready to the ground. Tuck that toe. Lift the back leg up, so we're back where we started. And then take the same arm as leg and lift that arm up to the ceiling and twist. Remember to breathe. Deep inhales and exhales. Movement and breath together. Lower those hands down. Send the leg back into a plank. This time we're going to rock as we hold it for 5 breaths. Just get a little movement in those toes. So breathe in and out for 5 counts. 5 breaths, I mean. Wonderful. When you hit that point, feel free to drop down to your vinyasa and then come back to your downward facing dog. So now we're feeling a little more warm, a little more stretched out. So we are going to open up through the hips. Optional, you don't have to. I need to move because I'm going to hit something. So you're going to take one leg up, your hips are square, and you're going to bend the knee away from the body, and then move that foot over towards the other side. So you're moving your foot, bending it so the knee is facing outward laterally, and then you're just shifting that leg over further so that your hips are now on top of each other and no longer aligned. So you're opening up, and you should feel something on the side that's bent for sure. Send the leg back to where you started. Take this opportunity to press that heel into the ground. Do that one more time. Bring it up. And we're going to step forward, this time into a high lunge. Let's drop that back foot. Warrior one, so the foot's facing out. Arms are up, hips are facing front. And let's take a few breaths here. Feel very strong here. Feel your power as you balance. Speaking of balance, we're going to do a little bit of balance work. So we're going to bring our foot up and come to balance with our leg in front of us. We're going to hold. And on your next breath, you're going to bring it back to your warrior. When you're ready, we're going to open up into warrior two. So one leg is pointed towards the side, the other one is pointing front. Knee is bent, knee over ankle, and we are looking to our hand. We're feeling the hips try and square the front, and the knee moving and the hip moving to be on top of the feet so that you're not turning in. You want to keep it out in line. Breathe in, take the arm up, straighten the legs, and send the arm down to the other side. Come on up, come back to your warrior. We're going to turn front again, this time in our high lunge. And then we're going to bend our knee and try and come into a balance. Awesome. Bring that leg down. Take the hands behind the back. We're going to bend forward into gentle warrior. So my shoulders are back and my torso is hovering right above that bent leg. Come back up. Let's send the hands down. Take those legs back. Bring yourself through a vinyasa, or if you would like to take a child's pose or some other resting pose, that's of course always an option. But then when you're ready, meet me back in down dog. We're going to stay here for a couple breaths. All right, let's take one more breath in and out, and on our next inhale, we're gonna lift the other leg up to the sky. Same thing as we did, same thing as we did before. We're gonna bend our knee out, away from our body, and send the leg to the side so that our hips are stacked. You don't need to hop, I just don't wanna hit and have a counter posture. Send that leg back to where you started. Bend it again, one more time. Feel the hip open and the hip stack, even as the shoulders stay aligned in front. And bring it back. Send it through your legs into a high lunge again. So we're back where we started. Give it a go. Feel nice and strong. Back foot rooted into the ground, pressing through. Front foot nice and steady. We're going to drop the back foot so that it is facing our front and move into warrior one. Let's come back into our high lunge, and we're gonna do that balance again. So we're gonna gently bring ourselves up, lift that knee, hold our core nice and tight, and hold that leg. Our arms can be at our sides, they can be here, be out, wherever helps you to feel this balance. In a steady way as your leg holds up and your body roots that leg down to the floor. Awesome, great job. Take that leg back and down into our warrior one, and we're gonna open it into the warrior two. Same thing here, knee over ankle, one foot pointing out, the other one pointing forward. Try to keep those hips square and thinking about your bent leg, the hip pushing back so that the knee is over the toes and you're not turning it in or burning out. So the whole foot should be on the mat, the sole of both feet in their entirety. Really sending energy radiating through your arms as you breathe. Take a nice inhale, lift the arm off the bent leg, and send the other hand down towards the calf as you bend for reverse warrior. Gently bring yourself back up. Come back to a warrior two. Pivot into your high lunge one more time. You're going to take yourself down and lift that leg into a balance. Whoops. And wherever you are, it's okay. You need to touch your leg to the ground. That's fine. If this feels like a lot for the balance, you can lower your hands and keep them down to support you. Or if you have blocks or books. And then you can test your balance. You can take a finger off, and have a little bit less support. So what you try is up to you. This is your challenge in your body. Come back down. Nice work. Take the arms up. Gently bring those arms down. Take them out to plank. Drop the knees. And we're going to come to a seated position. Take the legs out in front. Take a nice inhale. And exhale. Inhale as you bring both legs up into boat pose. Really holding your core nice and tight. If this feels like a lot, you can always take one leg down or both legs down. You're still getting the same Same workout, the same muscles worked. So you can pick what works for you. Breathe in and out. As you send energy radiating up your head and out through your legs. In this moment, you're showing your strength, you're relying on you, and you're seeing that you can be there to support yourself. But also, you can be supported by the mat as well. Come on down. Gently find yourself on your back. Now we're being supported by the mat, kind of the yin and yang. You'll get both. Find your feet about a hip width apart, full soles of the feet on the ground. Take those hands beside you. Lift up through the glutes and pressing into the heels into a lovely bridge. Let's take 2 breaths at the top of our bridge. Wonderful. Come on down. We're going to take one ankle on top of the other thigh. Pull towards us and stretch our glutes. If you need a towel or a t-shirt or something, you can wrap it around your leg and then hold here to pull your leg towards you if it's hard for you to reach your leg. So wherever you are, just find that place where you feel that stretch. Send it down. With the other leg, the ankle on top of the thigh. Bring it towards you. And stretch the glute on the other side. Bring that all down. Send the legs out in front of you and find some quietness. Find your Shavasana. It's a wonderful contrast to all the work we did before, moving and breathing. And here our task is just to be still. Be aware of our breathing. Imagine that there is this energy. You can bring life and warmth and calm when it arrives, and it's moving through your body. So imagine the warmth on your toes, along your ankles. Picture the relaxation and warmth as you move up the leg to the knee, to the thighs, to the buttocks, to the back, to the trunk, through the arms, into the neck, and last to the head. Breathe deeply and bask in that wonderful energy that you just imagined. Come back to yourself. Think about maybe what brought you here today. You set an intention. And that's something aspirational to think about. Doesn't mean you have to complete it or didn't complete it. It's not about completion. It's just about your thoughts and your intentions. When you're ready, start wiggling the fingers and toes, get some movement in the body to wake back up from Shavasana. And gently rotate over to your side, resting your hand on your elbow. Take a nice deep breath and gently push yourself to standing. Not standing, seated. Seated. Come into your seated position. It can either just be your legs here. If you like half lotus, you can do that, or if you like full lotus, or just keeping seated. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale out all the stuff. Inhale. Exhale. Reach those arms up to the sky. Wonderful, beautiful light we have in the summer. Wonderful energy. Imagine taking that down with us, bringing it into our heads, and bringing that energy and warmth into our hearts. One last inhale. Exhale. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you.